Still unleashing my greatness. Today is day 22 of Vlogmas, and I just have on this orange little dress. I am still at work. I've been eating Starburst, which I shouldn't be, but I have. I'm ready to go home. My hair is not doing anything. I washed it, and it's just not holding no curls or nothing. I made breakfast for my client. I haven't even eaten any breakfast. All I did was eat some Starburst and head them out. So trying to keep my energy up because I'm so ready to go home. I don't know why in the world I decided I want to do this. Because I just, my mood sucks. Like, I should really be so freaking happy, but my mood sucks. And I don't know if it's because I'm used to being in my own space or what it is, but, or because my hair is not hairing today. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but my mood sucks. I got some of my computers right here. I got some work done as far as on my computer. But that's about it. That's all that's been going on today. I'm just ready to go. I am ready to go. Um, I have to really figure out something for my hair. And I want to thank all of the people that commented on my vlog about whether I should get braids or whether I should have the finger waves. I want to thank each and every one of you for that, for taking the time out to comment. As you saw, you know, I wore the braids to the Broadway concert, but I want to thank you guys for commenting and giving me tips on what I could do to my hair. You know, just on a general basis. I really appreciate that. I thank y'all so much. I thank y'all. I thank y'all. I thank y'all. The curls ain't even curling no more. I don't know. I can't wait for my hair to grow back. Like, I didn't really know what to do with long hair, but I definitely don't know what to do with short hair. I don't. And I do not like the way that it makes my face look so freaking long. It is, my face looks so long and it really looks fat, especially right up in here. And my belly sure look fat too. Yeah. But I'm gonna come back a little later and give y'all a story time about something. I don't know what yet. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna give a story time on. But you know, I miss this, and I'm not saying nothing about the actual person because I know they be living their life and they got a new grandbaby, so they probably don't have time to be vlogging or nothing. But I'm gonna tell you who used to give the best doggone story times. Deidre Dazzling on YouTube. Boy, she used to give the best doggone story times. When I tell you them things used to be so juicy, it'll make you want to slap somebody. Them things used to be so juicy. I I love her channel, like even when she doing the hauls and just a day in the life. I love all that. But I love when she do a story time. Because she's so dramatic with it. It make you feel like you was actually there with her when the stuff happened. So yeah, my story part time will never be as good as hers, but I am gonna give y'all a story time a little bit later. I'm gonna see if I could do something to the hair, you know, come back on here looking a little better. But this is day 22 of Vlogmas. Christmas will be here before you know it. And like I said, I'm not gonna be home for Christmas, so I'm kind of not even in the spirit no more. But I want to show up like I gave my word I would do for Vlogmas. So I'll be back. We're going to do a story time. All right. Guys, it's much later, and I am back to give you this story time on how I found out that Santa Claus was not real. So let's get into it. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother that is under me, and two younger under that. So my oldest brother would always figure out a way to get us to do his chores. So, mind you, I have two brothers that actually lived in the house with me, and two brothers from my dad's side that live with my dad. But anyway, so my oldest brother, he would always get me and the youngest brother under me, that lived in the house with us, to get us to do his chores. So during Christmas time, he would really get us because we would be writing the list to Santa, and he used to always say that he had to be the one to mail the letters. Not realizing that when my mom came home, she had all three of us writing letters. So why would he be the one mailing the letters when we would give them to my mom and all three of us would be writing a letter? Didn't realize that then, but after the fact, I realized it. So I was 6. So my other brother had to be, he was like 5. And my oldest brother was like 12, 13. So we was doing his chores. We was doing everything because he used to tell us he was like one of Santa's helpers. So he would report to Santa and tell Santa like whether we helped him do the chores and stuff like that. So we was all in the midst of doing chores, right? And then one day, it was like Christmas Eve, we had to wash dishes, and we were washing dishes, and we saw the news report. This is where they used to show where Santa Claus was and on the board and when he would get to, wherever we lived at and stuff. So we would be watching the news, and we was, washing dishes and stuff. And I realized that Santa was all the way across the goddamn world. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how is Santa gonna come from all the way across the world to where we live at? So I was saying to my mama, like, how is Santa gonna know, to come here? And she was like, Santa know everything in that whole skit or whatever. So my brother was like, well, he told us he was the Santa helper. So he told Santa where to go. Now, mind you, my mom and my dad are already separated. They still be dibbing and dabbing, but they were separated. So we was just like, I was just trying to figure it out for real. And I couldn't. I could not figure it out for the life of me, like how Santa was going to know. So because my parents were separated, we were going to go to my dad's for Christmas. So I'm like, well, okay, so my brother is the Santa's helper, so he done told Santa to come to my daddy house, right? And to my mama house. So, as a child, you thinking that's double presents, right? So Christmas comes, we wake up at the crack of dawn, and there's nothing there. Like, we working up the wee hours of the morning, ain't a thing under the tree. So me being me, I go to the TV, I see where Santa at, I see Santa done passed. So I told my brother, I was like, Santa forgot about us. You didn't tell him, you forgot. And I was all in a hysteric, right? So my mama must have heard this, and she was like, Santa made a detour. He gonna make a detour and come back because he took everything to my daddy house, and he remembered that he had to come back over here because we were gonna be with my mom for part of Christmas, and then we were gonna be with my dad. So she kept telling us Santa was gonna detour. Now mind you, it's 2 something in the morning, and we up trying to open up Christmas gifts. So she was like, y'all just go back to sleep. Y'all go back to sleep. Y'all up too early, da, da, da. So we supposedly goes back to sleep. me just being the nosy kid that I am, I was pretending like I was asleep. Because, if you know, they used to say if Santa seen you, he would put pepper in your eyes. So I didn't go to sleep. I stayed up and I heard a little noise. So I was like, should I go? What if it really is Santa and he see me and I get pepper in my eyes and I get the cold? I'll be mad, but I want to see. I want to see. Why? I went in the living room where the tree was and everything. And I saw like that the door was open. So I'm like, the door open. Wait, what is going on? I was like, well, maybe Santa, couldn't fit through the chimney this time. Because maybe he done got too fat. He can't fit through the chimney, so he gonna come through the door. Honey, I see I'm, in there, like I'm hiding behind a chair. My mom and my daddy didn't even see me. They didn't even see me. I'm hiding behind the chair. And I'm just looking, and I'm never seeing Santa Claus. I'm seeing my mom and my daddy putting stuff under the tree. So I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. So Santa Claus done forgot about us. And now my mom and daddy trying to buy some gifts so that we'll have something for Christmas. And I'm like, oh man, in my heart, my heart was crushed. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been good all year for Santa not to bring me that, for Santa to forget about me. Well, I've been real good. And so when my mom and daddy went back out, I went in there and tried to wake up my brother that was under me. And he wouldn't get up. He was like, nah. Because, if we get up and sound the arm, see us. I'm like, man, it ain't no Santa Claus. It ain't no Santa Claus. It ain't no Santa Claus. So then I goes, he wouldn't get up. So I goes back in there. I ain't even go get my older brother. I went back in there. The door was closed. And the spare bedroom that we had, the door was closed. So I'm like, mm. It was closed, but it wasn't closed all the way. So I'm like, what the freak is going on? I didn't even think to go to my mama's room to see if she was in there or not, or look outside to see if my dad's car was, or my mama's car was there. So the little piece that was open, I looked in there and my mama and Santa Claus going to town. Santa Claus. He had the hat on. He had the little beard on. He had no clothes on, but he had the little beard on. Santa Claus, and he was asking her, has she been naughty or nice? And I was like, oh my God. So I'm saying, oh my God, like Santa Claus and my mama get down. So that's when I look out the window because I'm saying, okay, if Santa Claus in there with my mama, then the reindeers got to be outside and the sled got to be outside. So I went to the front door and opened the door, and the like when you open our door, it used to be like alarm thing that'll go off, and they was into whatever they was doing and didn't even hear it. So I went to the front door, no sled. I went to the back door, no sled. But I see my daddy's car out there. So I'm like, oh my God, my daddy is Santa Claus. Oh my God. My daddy is Santa Claus. He is Santa Claus. He is Santa Claus for real. My daddy is Santa Claus. And I was just like, oh my God, let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep now because I know now that my daddy is Santa Claus. my daddy be giving presents to kids all around the world. Like that's my dad. So I was like, that's what's up. My daddy be giving kids presents all around the world. So I go back in my room. I'm so excited, because I ain't even think to go look under the tree to look at my gifts or nothing like that. I'm just running back in my room, trying to go to sleep because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Can't wait to get up and tell everybody that my daddy is Santa Claus. Now, when I was younger, I used to carry this doll around. I used to have this Cabbage Patch doll that I begged my mama for, and I used to carry the thing around with me all the time. Now, what I didn't realize is that I left the doll by the door, so then they knew, my mom and dad knew that I had been there because the doll was there. Where I went, the doll went, except for when I went to school. So I left the doll there. I wasn't thinking about it. So I go in my room, go to sleep, whatever. And it's like later on when I hear my brothers like saying, calling me, telling me to get up, because Santa Claus came, Santa Claus came. And, I was like, yeah, I'm going to just sleep because I already knew, that my daddy had been giving presents to all the kids around the world. So I finally get up. I go in there and I don't have not one present. Not one present under that tree. Not one. I have not one present. Now, mind you, when I got up earlier, it was there. But when I came back, it wasn't there. And I'm sitting there like, oh, Santa took my stuff, tell Santa took my stuff. And then, so when my daddy came, I was like, looking at him like side-eyed. And I was telling my mama, like, look, I ain't nothing under the street for me. Like, what happened? And she was like, was you a good girl? I was like, I was good. What you talking about? Was I a good girl? I was good enough. And she was like, are you sure you was good? Did you make sure that you gave me your letter? I was like, I gave you the letter, right? So, I'm just like, she was like, well, maybe Santa Claus took everything over to your daddy's house. And when he brought everybody's stuff back, he must have forgot your stuff. So we go to my daddy's house. Of course, there's no gifts there. There's no gifts there for me. Everybody else got gifts. I ain't getting nothing. So I'm like, how the freak Santa gonna forget about me? So I waited, like everybody was opening their gifts and stuff. So my daddy was in the kitchen and I went in there and I told him, I said, look, basically I said, I ain't say look it like that, but I was basically like, I know you Santa Claus, and I don't understand how you could give all these children around the world presents and don't give me no presents, and I'm your only daughter? Like, what? Like, who does that? You Santa Claus, I've been good. So why I didn't get no gifts? So he was like, because I had been up when I should have been asleep. And he was like, Santa Claus see everything. So Santa Claus seen that I was up. And he decided that he had gave me gifts and then decided to take them because he knew that I was up trying to see him. And I was like, well, that don't even matter because number one, I already seen Santa Claus. And my daddy was like, what? I was like, that's how I know you Santa Claus and you give presents to all the children around the world. So my daddy looking at me all crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I seen Santa Claus. He had the suit and stuff on the floor. And the hat on and the little beard, and he was in there kissing. I was like, he was in there, you was in there kissing my mama, and he was like, which he already knew I had been in there, like seen. He didn't know for sure if I seen something, but he knew I was at that door because I left the doll there. And so I was just like too done. Like Christmas was over for me. But when I really, like, it was just over for me. That day I just wasn't having it. I didn't want to hear about nobody Christmas or that. So when I got back home, it was a note that was supposed to be from Santa Claus telling me that I should, when my mama and daddy tell me to go to sleep, that I should have went to sleep and that, Santa will see me on the next run. So I'm like, I'm mad, I'm mad, I'm mad. So now this is December. So after that, I was like telling everybody, I know Santa Claus. Like I know Santa Claus exists 1,000 and a million times. I know he exists because it's my daddy. I was telling everybody that. I was like, Santa Claus is my daddy, not knowing that I'm saying like Santa Claus is my daddy, like not not even thinking that there's no way my daddy could be Santa Claus to everybody in the world. Because there's no way he got no powers like that. So, from my birthday, from Christmas to my birthday, I was just telling everybody, I know Santa Claus, I know Santa Claus. And that song that Michael Jackson sang about, he seen his mama kissing Santa Claus. I be telling people, I seen my mama kissing Santa Claus, and I know who Santa Claus is because Santa Claus is my daddy. I'm going to have some special powers where I'm going to be able to go all around the world like my daddy to give presents. And so I never could figure out like where the freak the reindeers was. I could never find them jokers. I looked all around like the front, the back, the side, whatever of the house. Could never find them reindeers. But I knew it was him. I knew it was him. So my birthday comes. Of course, I'm all, I'm still like hyped on this Santa Claus thing because I know it is a Santa Claus and it's my daddy. So my birthday comes. Everything that I wanted for Christmas, I got it for my birthday. So that was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Something ain't right. Something is just not right. So my daddy, which is Santa Claus, didn't give me these gifts for Christmas, but he gonna give me these gifts for my birthday. I didn't care because I was just excited that it was my birthday and I was getting all the stuff that I wanted for Christmas for my birthday. So then December comes again. So this time, I'm like, I ain't going to sleep. I'm staying up. I'm staying up. I don't care. I'm going to stay up. I'm going to stay up. Now, mind you, at this time, my mom and my daddy, they really beefing. They really, really beefing. So, I knew, I was like, okay, they beefing, but we still finna get some Christmas presents, right? So, I was determined I was not going to sleep. I was going to stay up and see Santa Claus. I was going to see Santa Claus this time. It wasn't going to be no mistaken Santa Claus or nothing. I was going to be up. So I had stayed up all freaking night. My mama put us in the bed, made sure we was supposedly asleep. And then me being me, she was in the kitchen cooking to make sure we was gonna have Christmas dinner or whatever for for Christmas Day. So she was in there cooking, making pies and stuff. I go in there, I'm looking around the corner, like in the kitchen to, see what she doing. And she got the Christmas music playing, and she and I'm making pies. So I go to the living room. It's nothing. It's nothing. I said, okay, okay. So the front room that's like was the guest room. That turned by then it was my room. It turned into my room. I stayed right there. I had the door like cracked, and I had it looking directly at the Christmas tree, directly at it. So if any present that wasn't already under that tree changed or moved, or the toys or whatever, because the things that Santa Claus brought, she would just put out, like we got bikes or whatever, she would just put it out. She wouldn't, try to wrap it or nothing like that. But some presents she would wrap, because we always used to get pajamas, underwear, socks, and stuff like that. And she would wrap those things. But like the big things, the toys and stuff we wanted, she never wrapped them. So I sat there, had my little Cabbage Patch doll just sitting there. So it was like late, like in the wee hours of the morning. And my mom goes and opens the door. And it's a Santa Claus. So I'm like, Santa Claus done lost some weight. Like, Santa Claus done got a little skinny. So I'm like, what the world? What's going on? Who is this? What? I was like, well, dang, my daddy must have been, he must have lost some more weight. And, I'm peeping through there looking. But then I go to look outside because I'm trying to find out, like, I'm trying to see them reindeers. I want to see Rudolph. I want to see Rudolph. So I ain't see Santa Claus reindeers. So I'm like, what the freak is going on? And I'm like, okay, maybe it's on the freaking chimney. That's why I can't see it, because it was on the freaking chimney. So I decide I'm going to put on my clothes, my coat and stuff, and I'm going to go outside to look on the chimney to see if the reindeers was on the roof. That's why I wasn't being able to see them. So I went outside, opened the door, and whatever they was doing, I don't know if it was because the music was playing or whatever, I goes outside to look to see if I could see. Of course, it's dark though. So I'm like, okay, Rudolph's nose should be lighting up. So if the reindeer's up there, Rudolph's nose is going to light up, so I'm going to see it. I go out there and I, like a dummy, close the freaking door. Close the door. So I'm like stuck. I look up there. I don't see no reindeer. So my thing is, okay, they're not up. The reindeers is not on the roof. It wasn't outside where I was. So I was like, okay, it's got to be in the back. The reindeers have got to be in the back. So I go back to try to go back in the house, and I turn the door and it's locked. So I'm like, oh man. So mind you now, my oldest brother, he's way older than us. So I done seen him sneak in the house after curfew and all that. I done seen that. So I go and knock on his window. And him, my oldest brother and the brother under me, they share a room. But my brother under me, he was scary. He was scary. He was scary. So I knock on the window, and my oldest brother was like, "What you doing? What is you doing out there?" He having a whole conversation. I'm like, I locked myself out. I went to see Santa. I seen Santa Claus come in the house, and he came through the door. Mommy opened the door, and he opened the window, and he helped me get in the window. So I was in the room with them, and I was explaining to them everything. I was explaining it to them, and he was like, "Girl, ain't no doggone Santa." My older brother was just like, "Look, girl, ain't no doggone Santa Claus. That be mommy and daddy, buying the stuff and putting it under the tree. Ain't no Santa Claus." And then, so by this time, my younger brother, he done woke up. So I was like, I know Santa Claus is daddy. I know Santa Claus is daddy. But I'm saying that like I know Santa Claus is daddy and he give presents to all the children around the world. And my brother is saying that like, yeah, he's Santa Claus, but he only give presents to us. Like me and my brothers and my other two brothers on the other side that's not with my mama. Like he gives it to his kids and whoever kids he be fooling around, mama he be fooling around with. And I'm like, nah, he give it to the people all around the world. So my brother was like, no, he don't. He just give it to us like that. So I was like, nah, you even to tell me that. He was like, where the wearing deals at? I was like, I don't know. I ain't been able to find it yet. He told you ain't gonna find them. He kept telling me you ain't gonna find them because Santa Claus do not exist. And so while he telling me this, my younger brother bawling, crying. He is crying, and we trying to get him to shut up because once, mama know that we up. But like my little brother still had hope, and I still had a little bit of hope, even though it was looking glim that it really was a Santa Claus and it was my daddy, and he was giving presents to all the children around the world. So my oldest brother was like, man, bye. It ain't no Santa Claus. It ain't no Santa Claus. And he was like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you it ain't no Santa Claus. We went in there. All three of us went in there and seen my mama and her friend put in everything we asked for Christmas under the tree. We were so just like distraught. We were so distraught. And then so we went in they went in their room, and once my mama and her friend had finished putting the stuff under the tree, the guy left and my mama went back in the kitchen and went to cooking or whatever. So when she went back in the kitchen, I was in my brother's room. So then I decided to go back in my own room, and I was just through. I was just thorough. But hey, I seen them bring everything in, so I knew what I got for Christmas. So when my mama come trying to wake us up, talking about some Christmas, Santa Claus came, and the little Santa cookies was gone that we had made and stuff, I was just like, Mom, I'm over it. She was like, what? I was like, I'm so over it. I do not believe in no Santa Claus no more. It's over. You ain't even got to be doing this no more. She was like, what? And my little brother, he was saying the same thing. We was like, we don't even believe in Santa Claus no more, so you ain't even got to do this no more. And then she was like, yes, you do believe in Santa Claus. Who you think about this stuff? And my oldest brother, he was like, you did, Mama. We know you bought it because it was in your closet. I had already been in your closet and I seen some of the stuff in your closet. So I'm saying all this to say, if you have older kids and younger kids, don't let your older kids spoil it for your younger kids that believe in Santa Claus. Because, when kids get older, they know a lot more. And, you don't want to spoil it for your younger children. Because, like, after that, I didn't believe in the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, none of that mess. After that, I ain't believe in none of that junk. So, like, so it was spoiled for my younger brother because I knew, my older brother knew. So, you know, of course he was going to know. So, Christmas, the Tooth Fairy, all that was spoiled for my younger brother. So don't let your younger children your older children spoil it for your younger children if they believe in Santa Claus. If you're still in the phase in your house where you're playing Santa, make sure your children are asleep. Make sure your children are asleep. And if you want to have some extra activities with Santa Claus, that your children are asleep and that you close the door. Close the door. And definitely, definitely, if you have curious kids like me, put a Santa sled out there. Or put a bulb out there to make it look like Rudolph's nose. Come on. Parents, we got to be creative. We got to be creative. That is my story time about how I found out there was no Santa Claus. All right, I hope you enjoyed that story time. I will see you guys later. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and being with me on this Vlogmas journey. This is day 22 of Vlogmas. Christmas is around the corner. Monday is the 23rd. Tuesday is the 24th. Christmas Eve. Christmas is December 25th. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's 2 days. You got 2 days until Christmas. Today is almost over because it's almost like 4 o'clock. So today is about over. So we have 2 more days until Christmas. So I'm definitely going to be on here, but I want to wish you all a Merry, Merry Christmas.